Lady yields back, and that concludes all members of the subcommittee, and we have 2 wave-ons, and remember, there's a vote on the floor, so we'll go quick. Chair now recognizes Mr. Pfluger of Texas for 5 minutes for questions.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, are you the principal advisor to the President of the United States on unaccompanied alien children?
Congressman, the Office of Refugee Resettlement is the agency charged with them. We work with the White House in making sure that we...
Are you the principal, as the Secretary, Cabinet member, are you the principal advisor?
I am the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services,
Okay.
and ORR is...
So you advise President Biden normally on unaccompanied alien children?
We work with the White House.
Yeah, but you advise.
We work with the White House, we offer advice, we take their direction, and we work together.
Are you a Cabinet member?
I am a cabinet.
Okay. Yes. How many children are unaccounted for right now?
I'm sorry, how many children?
How many children are unaccounted for?
In our care?
There's been reports that through open press and media that unaccompanied alien children who leave the care of ORR are unaccounted for. Their whereabouts are unaccounted for.
Yeah.
Can you answer that question as to the number?
Sure. There are no kids who are unaccounted for who are in our custody, in our care.
Understand. Do they all have a place where they have gone that is a safe place, that they are not being either abused or that you feel good about where they are?
The children who are in our custody, I feel very good about the care that they're receiving under our custody.
When they leave your custody?
When they leave our custody, they don't leave our custody until they have gone through a process where those who are willing to become the sponsors of the children go through a thorough vetting process.
So the recent OIG report on ORR's handling of...
Which recent report are you speaking to? The one that's from 2021 or something recent, meaning this year?
Yeah, more recent than 2021, refers to the handling of these UACs and deficiencies in safety checks, deficiencies in the overall handling, the monitoring procedures. Can you kind of talk to me about what that looks like and what your office has done to address that? And are you following the OIG's guidance on that, and what steps have you taken?
First, we always work closely with the Inspector General's office, and we try to follow through with them on all of their recommendations. The report I believe you're referring to is a report that's based on information that they got from early 2021. What I can tell you is that some of the circumstances, if you recall, that's when ORR, because the previous administration had dismantled the operations of ORR to take care of kids, it was becoming difficult to find places to house them. And so we went through a process, and today...
I think that's really what I'm getting at is, there are multiple reports that children have been lost, quote unquote, in the system. So
we've not lost any children.
Zero.
We've not lost any children.
Okay.
Those who are in our care, we have not lost.
Okay, so everyone is accounted for.
All the children that we have jurisdiction and custody over are not, we know where, we have them. We don't lose them.
Okay. I want to refer back to my colleague, Ms. Miller-Meeks, the question she asked that you weren't able to answer because of the time. And I'll just ask the question, but she outlined it. Why are you protecting the identities of the abusers and the institutions who house them from being shown to Congress, even though that was subpoenaed by Congress this year?
So I think it's first important to say that if there is an abuser that is receiving taxpayer dollars from the Department of Health and Human Services, or in this particular case, to the Congresswoman's questions, from the National Institutes of Health, we will take action immediately.
Why are you not releasing the names to Congress?
Again, when we act, we have to act according to the law. And there are still laws that protect privacy interests, so we can only provide certain information.
Did you receive the subpoena?
I know the department received a subpoena.
Did you actually physically read the subpoena?
I saw the subpoena.
So you read it. And did it ask for the names?
Because the subpoena asked for something doesn't mean that...
Doesn't mean you're going to comply with it.
We're going to comply as best we can to a subpoena, but we have to follow the law in complying with any subpoena.
Can you tell me on what legal basis you are referring to that you would not release those names according to the subpoena and the request?
As I said, we have to make sure we follow the process, whether the process is in protecting privacy.
You've read it. We've established that. What part of the law is preventing you from releasing those back to Congress?
Well, as I said to you, there is a process for adjudicating any particular case where there are accusations of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and we have to follow that process pursuant to the law.
Do you plan to release the names to Congress?
We'll release whatever the law allows us to release in due course.
Do you think that is going to allow you to release the names back?
it's hard for me to prejudge what's going on in an adjudication.
I think in the interest of a subpoena, it would be good to get back to Congress on that subpoena with the reasons stated why you would or would not release those names.
Congressman, you're speaking
that's
to
the
a
reason
former
my
Attorney
colleague-
General. I understand the value and importance of a
I
subpoena.
think that's the
We'll make
frustration
sure that we
of why
abide
my
by the law.
colleague asked that question, because that has not happened yet. With
I think
that,
we
I
got to
yield
get
back.
one more questionnaire in. So thank you. And the gentlelady from Florida?